All right. Hello, everyone. It is I, Badger Wild. I am back. Once again, we are working on the destroyer. We are trying to get it finished. This has been a big project. Just want to say it's crazy. Jack Dawes, hey, what's up, dude? I quit Helldivers forever. How are you? What? Why? What happened there? What happened with Helldivers? Something happened? They break something on the game I don't know about? That's wild. Okay, so we got a little bit more painting to do. We'll wait for Jack Dawes to tell me what in the world happened there while I slip around here. We have the interior to do, and we have these turrets to finish up. I was level 150 and had everything too. Okay, what the heck caused you to quit Helldivers? That's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out, have they done some? I haven't been on in like 2 weeks, so I don't know what's going on. Oh, we also have this area to finish up and fix. I guess we'll work on this here first because we got to finish this thing up. Let's throw up our handy dandy little screen here. Snatch a block. Let's go here. Save. Do I have? Oh, yeah, we'll do that. We'll snatch this block out and I will shift and P in there. And then for that block, I think what we're going to do is we're going to use this black. People's PCs and consoles are being hard locks. The devs are pants on head regarded. Oh, well, ladies and gentlemen, I guess we're going to be doing Mech Warrior over Helldivers until they fix that problem. That is uh, that is being a problem. Did it hard lock your system? Super Earth's going to be in trouble until they figure that nonsense out. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do here, if I can make it work, we're going to color this with the carbon fiber here. Ah, that's annoying. I got to somehow color that without. There, that worked there. Now I just got to turn this back into gold, and we'll be set. That part will be done. Performance balance, dev, mastery, everything. No, I just had enough. Oh, yeah. Um, give them time to fix it. Give them time to fix it, and then there'll be more. A lot of us will probably be back on again. I personally like the game. I hope they can fix it personally, but also, if you haven't heard, they uh, they got what is it? MechWarrior is up and running, and they have the clans are running. Two games I'm looking forward to are Arc Raiders and SE2 Survival. What's this you're working on? Oh, we're working on a missile destroyer. It has limited point defense firepower, and that's the point because its primary weapon system are these 10 custom missile tubes up here on the top. You can see the little missiles inside. You can push a button and it'll fire half of them, it'll fire most of them. I need to go through here. I think I've labeled all these already, I think. If I haven't, I'll have to go back and do that. That'll either be, I was hoping I'd get this stream done, but I didn't realize how much I had to do. And I kind of made this look a little bit like a Factorum vessel because it does have the Factorum look kind of here. It wasn't meant to be that. It was meant to be one for my faction. Oh, we also got a couple PDCs in the back here, just regular ones. It also runs the nacelle system, so it will be really hard to take out if you're just shooting at the engines because it's not going to kill it that easily. It also has an undertone deck, which has its own, I believe, tug and welding ship inside of it, as well as 3 slots for 3 fighters that can be underslung underneath the thing. Grexion, sup Badger, how's it going? With the destroyer. Pretty good. We painted. I just started and painted the front up, got it done, and now I'm looking at the turrets, trying to figure out how we're gonna do these bad boys here. And I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna gold the top of this here on this guy, and that's how that's gonna go. But yeah, I'm gonna be doing Mech Warrior here pretty quick, and that's gonna be a fun one to play with because it's gonna be different. That's gonna be a different run right there. I already did a live stream. The live stream did really well, and then I also added I did a small short where I forgot I okay. So here's what happened. I put together a mech. I replaced one of the guns, and when I got down there onto the planet and started, getting ready to do the big stompy robot thing, I noticed that I did not have his MechWarrior 5 mercenaries yet. I realized when I got to the planet, I didn't have. I put an AC5 into a mech that had AC 10 ammunition. So part of the first part of the live stream is just me running around in a hunchback, just decking other mechs in the face. Because that's all I had was fists, and it became quite a hilarious joke at that point. And so it made for good content. It was completely unintentional, but it worked. It worked. It worked, and it worked out great. Let me see here. My wife has made a new discovery. Me and her both have been watching Tulsa King with Sylvester Stallone, which is ISA pretty darn awesome. I'm liking the whole show so far. I played MechWarrior online for years. Oh, really? That'd be cool. See, I haven't done much MechWarrior online because I kind of competitive gameplay just. I'm not a young guy anymore. I'm not interested in the whole beefing with everybody over bullcrap. Though I have heard that the customization on MechWarrior Online is way superior to what you get in MechWarrior Mercenaries. Yeah, that Joker looks pretty good. See, all these turrets are now looking pretty nice. Let's go over here and do this to the other turret. How do we do that here? We painted this up, and then we just got to paint some stuff black. Yeah, there we go. Made some mistakes. But yeah, that's one of those things where I've been playing ever since MechWarrior 3, I believe. And then I also had Mech Commander, which is where I really got to. Actually, I had Mech Commander first, Mech Commander 2. And that's what got me into the whole Mech Warrior thing. That's what got me into some serious Battletech. And then I found out, I found out that it was a tabletop. The second game I got was Mech Warrior 3. And then Mech Warrior Lone Wolf 2 was the second game. And I didn't get to play anything else. And then I went to college after that, and there was a Mech Warrior, like a BattleTech crew of dudes, and they had actually built their own pod. For those of you who don't know what a pod is in Mech Warrior, it's basically a sort of like a virtual reality thing. And just look up how to pilot a mech in Mech Warrior, and you will see people actually there's actual systems that can be, I believe, downloaded, and you can learn how to pilot an actual mech inside these pods. There's a whole lot of stuff. So like to give you an example of what happened later on, me and my wife, we get together, and her sister has like a birthday party at one point. I missed a freaking square. I can't believe I did that. I'm gonna have to fix that. But she wants a birthday party, and her sister wants a birthday party at like Chuck E. Cheese, right? We go to Chuck E. Cheese. After about a few minutes, her sister comes up to us and like she's not having a good day. And I'm like, okay, what's going on? She's like, there's this one kid, and he's just beating everyone in this game. I'm like, oh, really? What game is that? She goes, I don't know. It's got big robots. I'm like immediately happy. I'm like, oh yes, I love big robot games. Let's go. Let's go take a look. Then we take a look. We go over there, and what is it? It is a MechWarrior 4 pods game. No lie. This thing is hooked up. It's a big clear yellow pod. It has all the controls. It has all the baseline controls, and it moves and shakes you as you're going on. I mean, it was the coolest looking thing. And this is in a Chucky fucking Cheese. And I'm looking at this thing like, oh, really? We're doing this nonsense. And this kid's just, and when I get over there and I start looking at it, the first thing that happens is this punk kid tells me, he's like, you come in here and try it if you want to get your ass beat, noob. And I'm like, buddy, you have no idea. I was part of the campaign to finally finish Smoked Jaguar on their home turf, Bob. I didn't tell him this. I was like, we're gonna play. And my wife, who's my girlfriend at the time, she's like, are you sure? Do you know how to do this? I said, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. Trust me, I'll be fine. We get in there, frick. I get in there, and we start playing, and immediately I realize as we're playing, this son of a bitch doesn't know how to go backwards. He doesn't know how to reverse a mech. And we're walking, and I'm like, I could fuck with this kid. So I start going forward, And this kid, he's just sitting there. He's talking smack and everything else, and they're all watching. All these other kids are watching, and a couple of dads are watching because they got stomped by this kid too. He could do everything right, but I realize as we're going in, he just plows through things. He doesn't attempt to stop and catch you. And I noticed this on a turn as I'm moving through, and he's coming at me with a Sunder, and I'm pulling up with a Timberwolf. And I'm like, if I can get behind him, I can. If I can get around him, I can pretty much get him. And so we get to this one point, and he's slowed down the mech, and I see him coming on the radar on the sensor system. And right when we get to that point, I just stopped. And here's the thing about MechWarrior: you got to know about pods. The way the pod system works is your throttle is like a jet thruster. It's like a thruster you have on like a jet aircraft. You push it forward, and you accelerate the mech going forward. The way you reverse a battle mech in MechWarrior lore, you depress the entire accelerator, you push a big red button with your thumb, hold it, and then you increase the throttle, and that increases your reverse throttle. This kid did not know how to do that. So I just dropped just killed the thing, just dropped it all the way down, hit the button, and go back. And my Mad Cat starts moving backwards. And all I hear from the other side, because I can't see his screen, that both machines are facing each other, so no one can cheat. And all I hear from the other side is he's going backwards. How the fuck are you going backwards? Like, this is about to be over, bub, but you just don't know it yet. And he didn't know how to use jump jets. He didn't know how to use jump jets. He didn't know how to get up on top of buildings. He was basically able to outgun everyone in a quick draw, basically have a quick draw with everybody and outgun them. But he didn't know how to place his mech. He didn't know how to move it. And after about 2 out of 3, in which I suffered no losses in the Timberwolf, he was so pissed that some dude had actually walked in and took care of it. And we're going out, and I remember my wife. She goes, "I can't believe you knew how to play that." And I'm like, "Yeah, I never told you, but I was a veteran of the clan invasion force." And my wife's like rolling her eyes because she knows what's going on. I'm gonna prostrate a little bit while I'm here, because, kind of made everything work out real good. Let me read a couple of stuff here, bro. Mech Commander 2 is so good. Oh yes. Yeah, I loved the fact you could salvage other mechs. Most of the way I played that game was just with light mechs. I mean, I was going full mage leader half the time. I just harvest a bunch of fire ants and herbamechs, load them up with the first campaign. When once I realized, hey, I can outshoot them if I put LRMs on the mechs. I just loaded up a bunch of herbies with a bunch of freaking LRM launchers, as many as I could throw onto the mech, and then I just got them out there and started pounding away at the bandits as they started running forward. Um, then House that game there cemented my hatred for House Liao. And those of you that know who have played MechWarrior know what I'm talking about. Okay, House Liao is the backstabbiest backstabbers that ever did backstab. That's who they are. A bunch of like space communist China. The cool thing about the Mech Warrior is I've mentioned this before. You know, there's like Canopus cat girls, and Canopus is kind of an interesting one looking forward because it actually makes a lot of sense. I need to start doing stuff because I've just been sitting here rambling at the moment. But Canopus is kind of interesting because they actually do it. It's logical because we're all sitting there going, okay, yeah, you know, a world run by chicks that wouldn't last very long. And under normal circumstances, you'd be right. And in the first attempt at Canopus, it did not go for it didn't go very well. Okay, for the Canopans. So ultimately, what happens is they start up the women of Canopus. They up and do. They create a women's paradise. And first thing that happens, a couple of dudes come along and basically take it from them. And if I'm remembering my MechWarrior history correct, or BattleTech history, it basically gets taken the first time around. So then the women of Canopus they somehow get their planet back, or they get their experiment back, and they go, okay, we did this the first time, and under normal circumstances, it would be, hey, if it wasn't for those guys, we would basically have just held on. No, instead this time, the second time around, the leaders of Canopus go, who are all women, they go, okay, our problem last time was we were too naive, and we expected people to just respect us if we were nice, and we're not going to be nice anymore. We're going to build up a military force, and we're going to be nice up until someone pisses us off or attempts to take over, and then we're going to kick the ever living dog shit out of them. And ultimately, Canopus has been a staple of BattleTech ever since. But yeah, there are simple little things like that that just make the whole series just kind of pop out there and look good. Going on in here, let me see. Are there IRL controllers you can buy to play MechWarrior Online in VR? Bro, all you really need, I would say, is you basically, the cool thing about BattleTech is it is designed in such a way that you don't need to buy anything specialized to play the game. You can literally build, you can literally play the game with a pencil, paper, and whatever objects you want to put down there. You just got to be able to tell the difference between what your mechs are and what units are. And there's all kinds of rules you can plug into it. You can play with just mechs. This is Grexion asking about playing it in VR. So, like, just in the tabletop sense, to give you an idea, in just the tabletop sense, there's all kinds of rules you can plug in. Catalyst right now doesn't like anything very advanced. We'll put it like that. They don't understand the need for complexity. And so the complexity that you get now is not very good. But if you go to like classic rules, you can install tanks, helicopters, artillery, infantry, power armor. There's all kinds of things you can plug in. And then on top of the Battletech game, you can also take the role-playing game, which is like a D&D with in space, and you can take it and plug that into the Battletech universe, and it all seamlessly just fits together with almost very little or nothing. And you can have situations where you and the other players can be role playing while fighting a major campaign on multiple planets. I mean, it things can get very epic in that game, or they can be very localized. Me and my kid, we got a beginner set a while back because I always played with other people, and I didn't know where to buy the miniatures. I'd ask them where to get the miniatures, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you know, you gotta go to a shop or something." Some dudes have brought their own minis, so I was like, I couldn't go. I didn't have anything anywhere nearby to do a minis thing. Here I am stopping again, trying to get a gab about MechWarrior. We gotta do more MechWarrior, guys. We've got to do more MechWarrior. But the the cool part about that, when it comes down to most of the MechWarrior stuff, is okay. There's something wrong here. No, I don't think I did. I think that's wrong. Okay, this is wrong. There. You were not built wrong, ship. I built you built you as good as I could. But the thing about now is me and my kid, we were sitting there one day and my kid um saw MechWarrior on the shelf. She's like, Dad, what is that? She knows I like playing tabletop games. And she knows I like playing tabletop games like that. And I said, oh, this is MechWarrior. She goes, what's MechWarrior? I said, MechWarrior is a game. It's a game. I'll put it like that. It's a game where you see, why am I unable to pull anything else up there? That's weird. I told her, I was like, it's a game where, you play with big stompy mechs and everything else. You go in there and fight. Mechs versus kaiju with MechWarrior controls. Pacific Rim game like MechWarrior. They're trying to do something like that with MechWarrior Gothic or BattleTech Gothic, and it looks cringe as frick. They're trying to do too much Warhammer. Even though MechWarrior at a time was kicking Warhammer's ass so badly that Warhammer 40K turned around and sued them over the Warhammer mech because they're like, we own the rights to Warhammer and we're the only ones who get to do, all that bullshit that they do. And they got in front of a judge. The judge says, yeah, no, you can't just monopolize the word Warhammer just because you think you own it. And so they didn't. BattleTech ended up beating out Warhammer over that one. And so that was a pretty good moment. But like I said, some of the stuff that's happened in there with that, like all the stuff. So when it comes down to actual controllers for like a video game, I say all that stuff because we're segueing into this. If you want to use controls for a MechWarrior 3, the controls I was using for that was just an airflight control stick and a throttle. That was it. And those work perfectly fine. You just have to have a button on the throttle for you to hit the reverse with. And then the more buttons you can have on your joystick, the better. So you just buy like a set of joysticks, maybe a set of flight pedals if you want to do like have the mech turn like a helicopter, and you just use the foot pedals like a helicopter foot pedal. Your accelerators on one side makes you move forward, and then you probably also want like some type of stick, or you can have the throttle actually turn if you want to do like the twisty throttle where it like turns, or you can have like a twister on the joystick, which is a new thing now. Where you can like twist the joystick and it will do like a plane or something. It'll make a control happen, and that's one of the cool things you can do with all that. And you set the whole system up and it runs just beautifully. Hold still now. Hold still. There we go. Ah, there. Let's make all this different colors. Oh, so many guns. So many guns. But yeah, that's where a lot of that comes into play, and you have a whole lot of interesting stuff that happens in that aspect. Yeah, like I said, if you're wanting to make MechWarrior and you're wanting to do BattleTech in the BattleTech universe, it's not hard to do. It's not hard to get a control system set up. You can look them up online, and there's plenty of people who have controller setups, and they just talk about it. Why is there an opening here that I don't know about? We're just gonna slap something in there. That's leading to nowhere. I think it leads to nowhere. We're gonna find out when we get down there. So we're just gonna take a little bit of this gray here. No, we might just do a little bit more gray here. But yeah, like I said, that's where you would get like all kinds of controllers and everything. If you wanted to do a controller setup for MechWarrior, it's very easy to do. And when you get done doing it, you'll be like, oh wow, that was actually so easy. That's so simple to do. and you have a whole lot of fun with it because the first thing that you do is you'll go out there, you'll blow up like your first enemy battle mech, and you're like, hey, I'm pretty good at this, and then you'll get your shit kicked in by another battle mech who just doesn't give a crap. If you're in my position, a lot of times it was, hey, you get into a fight with the clans, and the first couple of fights with the clans it's pretty easy until they realize that they cheated every single little thing. Games Workshops are clowns. Yes, from Jackdaw. I'm gonna read through a couple comments here. Um, Badger, you should try Armor Core. Dude, I was doing Armor Core here for a little bit, and then I stopped for for a bit. I should get back into that and do it again. Armor Core 6 is very fun. Yeah, I know. I've got it. Their experiment, meaning Canopus. Yeah. Their experiment. Yeah. Grexion, it would be cool if they made a Pacific Rim game like Mech Warrior. Mech versus Kaiju with Mech Warrior controls. If you want to get close to that, Earth Defense Force actually has a mission where you walk in with a mech the size of the Megazord and you just start bitch slapping a giant kaiju. It is one of the easiest things. Badger, did you see the video I posted on your Discord about people abusing DM to get people banned? Oh yeah, yeah, I know all about that. That is one of them things that just irritates the. I have seen stuff like that. It irritates the hell out of me. Because my God, how much of a punk do you have to be to sit there? Why can't I change the color of that? It's gonna bug me. We'll go on. All these corridors would be kind of gray, and the walls. So that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna work our way through here. Some of this stuff is just not gonna be turned, apparently. Nope, not gonna happen. Oh well, we'll figure that out later. But anyway, like I said, one of the problems you run into with that, like DM busting, is when you give people the kind of power needed to do something like that. It is almost a guarantee it will be abused. It is not something that is not going to be abused. It's like it's not going to be abused. It's going to happen. You might as well just get ready for it. I really wish they'd just clean up the system because it would make a lot more sense just clean it up, fix everything that's happening, I would say just put in like a 3-strike system to stop people from doing that ever again. There's a certain place in hell for people like that. Yeah, I would agree with you right there, Rexion. There is a certain place in hell for people like that who just want to pop in and say, "Oh, I'm just gonna come in here and mess up your DMs." Okay, fine. You want to be a punts? Go right ahead. Let's see. That I think I can probably. There's some carbon fiber right there. Yeah, that room's looking pretty good. Let's go to the next one. There we go. We'll probably paint these gray. But yeah, that's where if you're ever doing like I said, the whole thing with Mech Warrior is really cool. The entire universe is really cool. It doesn't need to be fucked with at all. And by the way, House Davian will kick your shit in with all the autocannons and stuff they can bring to the table. Which is one of the reasons why I like House Davian. I like the autocannons. So sue me. It's just me. I like autocannons. All right, that's turned out pretty good. Interior's looking nice now. Now I do want to head off here, and I want to get into one other area. just want to carbon fiber some of these zones here and a couple of these lockers. We're gonna, well, I don't know if I want that carbon fiber or not, but I think I want this to be. You know what? We're gonna carbon fiber these bad boys because they look good in carbon fiber. Server looks good in black. There we go. That looks nice. I'll come back with a different color later. Now we need to do some carbon fibering in here. Carbon fiber the railings. But yeah, post the comments if any of y'all ever played MechWarrior. What's your favorite mech? Because everyone's got a favorite. Everyone sits there. There's a lot of people that say, well, favorite. No, 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 you got one. We just don't know what it is yet. Trust me, we'll figure that out. We are mostly partial to the, let's see, there's several of them, but if I were to have to have a medium mech, it is probably going to be the Hunchback, and then heavy mech followed by the Marauder. Because I like the Marauder. Oh man, if you don't know what the Marauder is there for and what it does, you have no idea what you are missing. Because the Marauder is one mean man of JAMA. As for medium mechs, I would go with the Hunchback. I know some people probably saying, "Oh, the Hunchback, it's pretty good." You don't understand my version of the Hunchback. It is one ultra autocannon 20 and two medium claws on each side, calling it the Honey Badger. What's doing here? Rexon, the thing that makes it worse is that it's Discord bots that handle the report on the DMs, and apparently the Discord mods don't care to help people afterward. Rexy, I never played long enough to have a favorite. Yeah, you really got to play with the mechs a bit when you're looking for like a mech you're gonna want, because that's one of them things where you'll eventually find a mech that works, and you'll just be out there. Because a lot of times the way MechWarrior goes is you're just sitting there doing your thing, you're trying to win the game, you're getting your shit kicked in a lot, and then you run into a mech that works. It works, and then you're sitting there going, "Huh, this is really cool." And then you get like an affection towards the mech and everything. You get to a point where you're like, this is my favorite mech, and I can do anything if I've got this mech with me. And lo and behold, you do. You end up doing a lot more stuff. You end up taking care of business more often. I thought I had gotten rid of those, but I guess not. We're going to carbon fiber these bad boys too. Just give them all a different look than the rest of the ship. There we go. So that's making everything look kind of nice. I think what I'm going to do with the reactors, I think I'm going to gold them along with certain other things. We're going to glitter gold those things a little bit more with this glitter. And I'm going to do that. That should saturate that up a little bit. I want to make that a little bit brighter gold. Okay, we're going to make that just kind of nice here. There we go. That's looking good. And reactor 1 has to be gold. Reactor 2 has to be gold, if I can ever get it to gold up. And then these two guys over here have to be gold as well. Clearly. Need that gold plating right there. Make that look good. That's working pretty good. We'll just gray these guys here, make a few adjustments, and everything will look good. Yeah, this whole entire room's starting to come together. Now I just need that gray. Where's that gray at? We'll do this, and we'll make it clean. There we are. Bring this back in because I gotta repaint a few blocks over here. I kind of got off target a bit. Okay, let's see. Did I do anything like that over here? No, we did not. We're gonna be fine. So now I want to hit a few other things. I'm gonna have to. I know. I already know what everyone's gonna say. I already know what everyone's thinking, and the answer is I know. Ah, I've got to figure out where to. Let's gray those two while we're at it. We're gonna head down here. The heck? I'm unable to paint stuff. What? Can't paint anymore. What the heck happened? Ah, that's the problem. For some reason this thing got reset. That's weird. Maybe why I couldn't color some of this stuff over here. Color that one, color this. There we go. Go here, number one. Let's do this and plastic. Right there. There we go. Gotta remember them floorboards, ladies and gentlemen. Now we're gonna do sci-fi armor skin next, because that's gonna make these two reactors look a little more science fiction-y. So yeah, adds a little bit of texture to everything. Nice. All right, let me see. Grexion here. When I played, I tried laser weapons, but never understood the heat sink, so I kept overheating, and then I quit the game. Also, I finally uploaded my new station to my workshop. Oh, I'll have to check it out. Yeah, heat gauge, the way the heat system works is as you shoot your lasers or shoot any weapon systems, you're going to build up heat. That is a problem with mechs. They will overheat really quickly and can. Oh, wow, I missed one. Hold it now. And they will overheat. Holy crap. Well, not only will they overheat, but they will sometimes just blow the fuck up if you're not careful. I speak from experience. It's not a fun time. It's not a fun time to be a mech warrior when that inevitably goes pop. It can be useful though. I remember one time we had a dude in our one of our pod games, and we were playing Mech Warrior 3, And he basically goes, "Hang on, guys, I'll go solve this problem because we were being attacked by a group of dudes, and they were giving us a good thrashing." So he charges in there with his supernova, runs right into the middle of the assholes, and just detonates himself by kicking on the unit and watching it all go boom. He alpha striked, overheated, went nuclear, and that was it. That was all she wrote. He did take about he did take most of the weapon systems with him. So he took out the people we were fighting against in that particular match. And or he didn't actually take them out. He actually just really ruined their day. Put it like that. They had a really bad ruined day moment. And that was all it wrote. That was all she wrote. That was the end of his shenanigans. Oh, we still got a couple more rooms to do. There's that. I want those done there. And that's all for that stuff. Let's go ahead and use this other. I'll have that happen. There. And we'll do this in sci-fi. But yeah, that's kind of the whole thing with heat. When you're dealing with heat, you just got to make sure your mech doesn't like pop and cook off and explode. And that's pretty easy to do if you know what you're doing. Most people that don't understand the heat gauge, that was something that was fun when other people were playing MechWarrior. And I told them, yeah, I play MechWarrior, I actually have fun of it. They're like, we don't believe you. I'm like, what do you mean you don't believe me? I'm actually having fun playing MechWarrior. I like it. And they go, no one could figure out that game. And then you get to be the smart guy and show them, yes, someone could figure out that game. Not you, but anyway, I got into a lot of fights when I was a kid. Just letting you know. Most of the trouble I've gotten into has either been my own fucking fault or yeah, my own fucking fault. That's what it's been. All right, time for this room. This will be a fun one. Kind of colored that one. I don't think I was supposed to, but let's go with it. Let's go with it. Let's add a little bit more flair to this thing. But yeah, that's like I said, that's how MechWarrior kind of goes down half the time. And like I said, it's great. I absolutely love playing. I love doing the whole MechWarrior thing. I wish I could do Mech Commander again. That'd be so much fun. And in reality, there is a way to do it. I just haven't had the balls to go try it out. Okay, so this room is somewhat decorated now. And I think I'm going to go ahead and check and see. I think we got everything done. I think the only thing we really got to do now is just program it. And it's getting late. It's 12:05. And I'm wanting to get to bed. I didn't sleep good last night. And now here we are again. Um, and I've gotten a lot done, honestly. This project has been fun, to say the least. There we go. Like I said, I am getting tired, but this is starting to look good. There we go. Now, ship's got a good look. All the inside now, it looks amazing. And I'll figure out more stuff. For those that are wondering, also the fighter there on the side actually goes underneath. The F302 does. Also, Badger, as someone who reviewed it, I have such a hard time trying to build a replacement for my Visby class Corvette, as every design I try does not stand to par with the Visby class. That's because you made a really good ship. Why is it so hard to make a new Corvette for my faction? Well, problem is, there's one problem with Space Engineers that stagnates equipment, and that is we don't have anything that can improve. And what I mean by that is, even though the Factorum is here, they're not presenting us a new challenge. They're a new challenge per se, but they're not a challenge that we need to worry too much about. We can just build ships normally, upgrade with new weaponry, and figure out new placements. Um, it's hard to innovate something when something can't become obsolete. And that's the one flaw of Space Engineers. Things can't become obsolete until someone comes along and messes with everything. Renegade Bundy. Well, some war equipment doesn't change, just gets upgraded over time. Grexion. Yeah, at some point you can't upgrade it anymore. Renegade Bundy. Well, let me see here. Well, then you keep it until you can. If it falls short somewhere, you build something that is strong in that area where the Visby fails. Yeah, I think I've done a video on the Visby. Visby is a good ship. I'm not gonna lie. Those of y'all that want to look at it, you can check out. I can't figure out where it is on my deal, but it's in the ship reviews playlist. You just hop on there and just start scrolling down. You'll see I've done a lot of ship reviews. Actually, thinking about it, but yeah, you would need some sort of new challenge. You did upgrade the Visby though to with the new autocans and everything. What were you arm? Yeah, I'd love to see what the original armament for that thing looked like with the rockets and the Gatling guns before the turret update. The issue is that with the weapons it has, it's hard to find any area where it would fail. Um, well then look at the Thisbe, and see if you can, or Visby, Why did I say Thisbe? Look at the Visby and see if you can't find an area that you want to branch it off into, like an extra area, like an extra weapon slot for something else. I think it's the one that has a missile on it, doesn't it? I could be wrong, but I'm certain that's what's there. But yeah, folks, unfortunately, we've come to the end of the stream, and I have been just hammering away getting this thing. It's all painted up. Now we just got to do a little bit of programming, just a little bit of programming to get this thing working like it's supposed to, and it will become the ultimate. Well, not the ultimate destroyer. It'll be a very impressive destroyer, and I'll try to blow something up with it later. But anyway, thank you all for watching, and as usual, I am Badger Wild. Just letting you know, if you like the video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm really tired right now. I'm gonna have to go to bed. Um, But yeah, like, comment, subscribe. It's the best. It is the most economical way to support the channel because the actions to support are free. Okay, y'all can do that. If you want to throw a little more money my direction, uh, I've said this before, super chats are open. We also have a membership club or a membership system program, whatever, where the whole thing is y'all give me a, like a penny shy of $1, and that helps me buy more Dr. Pepper so I can do more videos. I've got another video coming out showing how you can easily go into access at your base for a drone. It's a very easy way to do it. You don't need a command seat. There's actually a nifty little way around it, and it was part of a discussion we had about beds I was having with another subscriber or someone who had seen the video. And we were talking about it, and thought, I gotta try this out. And it didn't work like I thought it would, but I did discover that there is one cheap block you can put on your base that will let you control a drone. It's wild. But yeah, like I said, that's one of the things that you can we can look at and do with. And I may even do some videos um, showing off how to accomplish specific functions in Space Engineer, so you guys can pull some cool stuff and work on that, and just show off some type of build system that can work and make like your bases and stuff look a little bit better. But anyway, Renegade Bundy here, Grexion here coming up. And so the original version of my Visby was just the bow artillery turret, then four Gatling turrets. That was it, as it was originally rolled out as a picket type ship. Okay, so you've been upgrading it recently. You've got the Corvette up there to where it can do more than just picket ships. It's now able to do some deep space stuff. So I mean, that's a pretty good. It's going on a natural run. As soon as they drop something like new weapons or something like that, you'll have to do some more upgrades. Renegade Bundy, yeah, but could you make a up armored Visby? Yeah, it probably could, but that ruins the concept of a Corvette because with a heavier armor Visby, you're going to lose speed, and speed is the lifeblood of a Corvette in this game because you have to. Because one of their key tenets is you got to be able to chase down fighters with a Corvette. It would be a bit slower, yes, to get up to speed, but it can take more hits. That depends because honestly, if you get, and we've seen this with Get Brocked on his channel when the cons came in, and the con faction wasn't supposed to last that long, but every one of them knew how to actually fight with a ship, and they started using this lazy barrel roll maneuver. And I remember Get Brocked on there going, they kind of do this lazy loop nonsense, and holy fuck does it work because 90% of your firepower just bypasses the ship because it's constantly changing like a shell move, which is something that just pissed a bunch of people off on that server. And then the cons ended up becoming like a major faction because they went in there and they were supposed to be just like a group of pirates that just show up into the Outlands and then get beaten by everyone in the Outlands. And then they ended up lasting longer, and that was one of their taunts to other players on the server was we were only supposed to be a seasonal enemy, not last this long. And the cons are doing a pretty good job last time I checked. Well, which I mean, Get Brocked Outlands is a really good series. Just go in there, start at the beginning of it. You start episode one, you know what's going on. It's very well written, and it's just kind of like a first person movie, pretty much. It's really good. Grexion here. I could, but another issue with the Visby is it sits nicely between Corvette and frigate size. Oh, so you could make a smaller version of the Visby. You make a Visby patrol. Just had to figure out what you're gonna put on a Corvette. It gives it that kind of advantage. Grexion, so I can't make a frigate as I don't need one with the Visby in service, and I can't make a new Corvette because the Visby is already too good. So, here's the thing: just because you have a ship, let me try and help you with this, Grexion. Just because you have a ship that does one job really well, I mean, what the job that the Visby does, it's probably really good at like taking out fighters and stuff. You could, you got to remember there are different classes of ships, and different jobs of ships. So you could create like an assault Visby, which has, or an assault corvette, which has everything you need, but can drop like two tanks into a battlefield. Not as a straight up line drive killer, but has like a small bay in it where it can put in two tanks on the ground and drop a small support team, and then they can bum rush a base like on a planet. Let me see here. Renegade Bundy. Yeah, everyone does it now, referring to the one deal. I was a gunner in a TFD ship, and yeah, that's a doozy to do. Two ships doing a lazy barrel roll with no horizon is a pain. Oh yes, yes. Which is why I kind of like servers where there's not a lot of people on, because you can start. You don't have to worry about accidentally running into someone and having a fight last way longer than it normally does. Which is also why I kind of think the counter to that is a bunch of drones, because as soon as they swarm up on you and charge into your general vicinity, they're just going to keep shooting at you. And they'll come at you from enough angles that it won't make a difference. At least I think that's how that would work. Grexion again here. Also, the original concept with the Flight 1 of the Visby class was to act as a PDC platform for my Salamis destroyer. So it started, here's the thing, it started as kind of a screening corvette then, or an escort corvette. And it slowly evolved into what it is now. It was planned that two Visby and one Salamis would have, am I saying that correctly? Salamas. I may not. We're gonna do Grexion. I'm gonna pull him up at some point, and we're gonna go through all of his ships, and he can give me all the proper pronunciations on this stuff. But yeah, because I have a dumb American education. It didn't help. It also doesn't help. The Southern drawl just doesn't do well with other accents, and have the capacity as one Valor class battle cruiser. Oh, or capability as one Valor class battle cruiser. That's pretty cool. Renegade Bundy, Brigade Runner Corvette. Grexion, I have a prototype for a small drone tank where three of them can fit inside the Visby's hangar. The reason it got a weapons upgrade and turned out into the version I have now is because the destroyer got too expensive to build. And that's a lore dump right there, dude, for for the Visby. Like your faction built a Corvette that was so capable that it actually replaced, upgrading it was a replacement for a bigger ship and made the fleet cheaper to operate. That's lore right there, dude. Like if you're doing story, you're putting lore in there for your faction, you got to put that in there if it's not there already. Because that's just an interesting little piece of lore that is both the same in game and outside. It's an easy way to explain that. Like, yeah, these were supposed to be two partnerships, but one of them, the bigger of the two, got too expensive, so we modified the design of the ship we were already given in service so that it could fill the role, enough of them could fill the role of the frigate. And so you just send out a bunch of those little corvettes and let them take over areas for you. But yeah, that's where things are on. I've seen some people have come in and left the chat just for people wondering. It is the end of the stream, and I am just like I'm rambling at the moment and fixing to go to bed because I'm really tired. I will actually be watching the YouTube, because if I have to do again tomorrow what I did today, or well, what I did yesterday, I guess is what I should be saying, where I'm at. I'm gonna be back down under a house, and I will send y'all I'll put a couple pictures up on YouTube. You guys can take a look at the downright stupidity I'm in right now. Because, oh boy, some of the stuff that's going on with the house we're under. Oh God, I'm amazed it's even surviving right now. We're fixing to go in there and replace a whole bunch of stuff, jack the whole house up and fix it. It is a is a monumental task, and I am at my wit's end on it because I have to get down there and dig. And I've been digging down there and took a piece of glass to the rib cage and whatnot. Fortunately, didn't cut anything, but it's nasty. And then on top of that, the people that were there before put a new central heat and air system to replace their old central heat and air system. Their old central heat and air came up through the floor and operated. So now we have a bunch of pipes and stuff in our way. And the new stuff works up in the attic, which pulls the air up into the attic and then blows the cool air down with you. The problem with this one place is they left all the vents in the bottom from the original heating and cooling unit, and every single crawling critter you could think of has made a hole in those things. We've seen rats, we've seen field mice. We can smell a skunk visiting our work site regularly. And the last thing I want to do right now is be stuck under a house with about 17 inches or 16 inches of moving room against a creature that is much faster in that particular situation than I am and can see in the dark. It is wild. Let's see here, Grexion. I have some lore written for each ships I have in service with the ESDF. See, that's something you could do. I know people ask me about YouTube. I've had some people ask me about YouTube channels all the time, so I'm gonna address this right now. Take what you know. Grexion has a great concept here with space engineers to just grab that and start doing a couple lore dumps about the faction and what it does in like a short story format or like a very short blurb content. And he could end up growing a small channel with that. So I mean, it's more like do what you know how to do. If I were to do, if I had full freedom on YouTube, we would be doing either video games, uh, firearms related crap, or I would be forging, making blades and stuff and testing them out. So that would be a fun thing to do if I had that kind of time and equipment to make it work. But that is pretty much everything. Like I said, if you guys want to help support the channel, there is a 99-cent membership. That is not me sitting there. Also, I'm not saying you have to do this. If you want to support the channel with a upvote, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe if you're new. That stuff there tells YouTube to take the video and put it before more people. And also, someone was mentioning the 8 minute video mark. Like, yeah, you've been talking about this whole thing for about 8 minutes. There's a reason for that. Because if I don't go to the 8 minute mark, YouTube will just saturate any video under 8 minutes with ads. Whereas if I take control of the ads from what I've seen so far, everyone's been saying they haven't been seeing any ads in that area. Or well, they've seen where was I going with that? I'm really tired. I just the entire thought process just petered out on me right there. It just said, "Nope, we're not going any further." I don't even know what I was talking about now. Fuck, what was going on there? That is wild. You turn your head in there, and all of a sudden you're face to face with its fart cannon. No, we'll be down there in the ground, and we'll hear it trill, and we'll just be like, "Oh crap." The worst part is I do have a 45 with me at all times because of some other things that have happened in life. But the problem is when you're in a small space like that, and I was sitting down there, I had another guy with me. He goes, if you see a skunk, a possum, or a raccoon or something's going to rip our face off, shoot it." And I'm like, "No, we're not doing that." He goes, "What do you mean?" I said, "We're in hard gumbo clay on what we're laying on is hard gumbo clay, and we're surrounded by concrete and cement." I said, "I'm not going to pop off a 45 just so it can chase us around down here when we have no ability to dodge it." I said, "We can't even dodge a bullet on a regular day, much less we're not going to dodge it down here. We're just going to wait for the hit." That's all you could really do in that situation. But yeah, we've moved, God, so much stuff coming out. And the problem with the place that we're working on, a couple dudes out of Memphis came in there to work on the house and they jacked up a bunch of beams to hold the floor up. And when we got down in there, the beams were not holding anything because they didn't take them up high enough. So yeah, that's a thing. Anyway, we're now going in there trying to replace a whole bunch of stuff. They also got some old rotted spruce wood in there, and it is a oh god dang, it's a nightmare to get out. We've tore the floor out because they were like, yeah, we want you to go in here and just like kind of smooth this floor out. Since we have done that, we have run stuff out. We have reworked a whole lot of things, and we have rerun all the plumbing. The plumbing was a nightmare. My God. But yeah, like I said, if you guys are wanting to, any of y'all wanting to support the channel, like I said, it's not necessary to send money out of your account. The reason why it's 99 cents is to just get as many people incentivized. It's just to make the donation, like the support of the channel more accessible. Because if I do like a $5 or $10 tier, not everybody's going to want to do it. And in this day and age, with where the economy's going, we're not quite out of the rut we're in yet. I was just like 99 cents. Everybody's got a dollar somewhere. It's not going to cost them nothing. You become a member. What you get for being a member? Well, I've got like a shit ton of videos right now that are already up on the channel, but they can only be viewed right now by members. So there's at least two more ship reviews. There's two more ship reviews and another tips video that's coming out. And I've got another, oh, those are already uploaded. Those are uploaded, done. They have their thumbnails and everything finished. The other ones, they haven't been thumbnailed or anything yet. And I'm going to do that on Wednesday, I guess today sometime when I wake back up. No, but once all that's done, then those will be up as well. So there'll be three more videos, either three or two more videos will pop up on here. So if you do that, it's like 99 cents a month. We've got three members already. I got to do a members deal at some point. I got to do a deal where I congratulate the members. I think I'll do that at the end of the month actually. And then I've still thinking about like all the content I want to put out. I've still got the Halloween one because I was going to do something kind of nifty for Halloween and just kind of do kind of a joking video, letting you all see what was going on. See how my thought process works a little bit. I thought it was kind of funny when I was thinking of it because I don't know why. Well, I know why you don't see this vehicle inside of zombie movies. It's OP. When you stop and look at the vehicle, it's very OP. Anyway, something for Project Zomboid if anybody ever knows about it. But anyway, I am Badger Wild, folks, saying stay safe, stay frosty, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye for now.